Welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry El-Rufai, and tonight we'll be diving deep into three major developments in the Nigerian polity. Today on the issues, Nigerians' future hangs in the balance. Three critical stories demand our attention. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has resigned from the PDP, sparking speculation about his 2027 presidential ambitions. Senate President Godswill Akpabio is locked in a legal battle over a court ruling ordering the recall of suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Meanwhile, the United States has reduced visa validity for Nigerians to 3 months, citing high overstay rates. We'll dissect these issues and more. Join us as we explore the complexities and consequences of these developments. This is the issues. Stay with us. After this short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) with immediate effect, citing irreconcilable differences within the party. In a letter addressed to the PDP chairman, Atiku has expressed his gratitude for the opportunities he had while serving in the party, but stated that the party's current trajectory diverges from its foundational principles. Atiku's resignation may be linked to his preparations for the 2027 general elections. He has formed a coalition with other top opposition figures, including Peter Obi and Nasser El-Rufai, aimed at unseating President Bola Tinubu. The coalition has adopted the African Democratic Congress (ADC) as its platform. This is not the first time Atiku has left the PDP to pursue his presidential ambitions in other parties. He has previously left the party to join the Action Congress of Nigeria (ACN) and the All Progressive Congress (APC) in his quest for the presidency. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests here in the studio. We have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
I'm happy to be here.
Always a pleasure. And joining us virtually is Engineer Kinani Sam, a political affairs analyst, deputy gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party, Rivers State in the 2023 general elections, and instrumentation and control engineer. Great to have you join us on the issues.
Good evening. Thank you.
All right. Great to have you, Kinani. It seems like you want to take it easy. Anyway, I know engineers, they always take it hard on the field. And of course, it's interesting to know that you're a politician and mixing up with being an engineer. Okay, let me start with Dr. Anosike first, just to bring you on board with the conversation. Atiku has decanted the game. This time around, it looks like it's for good. He's telling PDP goodbyes. Is this another show that he's going again for the presidential, talking about seats this time around? Because the other times he did it was because he had a presidential ambition. This time around, is this another move? Already a sign that he is going for the presidency in 2027.
Well, Jerry, I told you here about 2 months ago that PDP has become a broken vehicle that will not be repaired until 2027. Yes. And that Labour Party has become a broken down vehicle that will not be repaired until 2027. And that if Atiku is serious about contesting in 2027, he should leave PDP. And if P2B is serious about contesting 2027, he should leave the Labour Party. Because APC has put in virus in these two political parties, which will not be cured until after the election. So I'm happy that Atiku Abubakar has left PDP for Nyesom Wike. Understand? That Nyesom Wike now become the presidential candidate. Then let Damagu become his vice presidential candidate. Understand me? So for me, he made the right move. Understand? If he has remained in PDP and is interested in contesting, INEC will disqualify him. So what he did is the right thing. Contesting every Nigerian, provided that you are not a convict, is qualified to contest.
Okay.
Understand me? So it is within his right to vie. And now, behold, on Nigerians to either say yes for his candidacy by voting for him or say no by rejecting him. But I'm happy that he has left PDP for Nyesom Wike.
All right, let's go to Engineer Sam. I don't know whether he's still with the Labour Party, and I would have maybe just put him on the spot there. Is he with the Abure faction or with the Peter Obi faction, Engineer Sam?
Yeah, good evening once more. I have to state here that I am still in the Labour Party of the Peter Obi faction.
Okay.
And it is clear, and the same reason Obi was also present at the inauguration of the ADC coalition is for the fact that Abure has taken the Labour Party to his own personal property. That being said, with what is happening now, it is a way out for us, for Nigerians, to be able to get the kind of leadership that is expected of this nation. So we are still in the Labour Party, hopefully watching what is going to play out in the months to come, because Labour Party, everybody knows, has been a very strong force against the leadership that has crumbled this nation. Because of that, the present leadership, the government in place now, the APC, is having a very strong hold on the party through Abure, whom they are using to stifle the growth, the expansion, and the stay of the Labour Party. So the best we have to do is to look for an option, waiting for when the right time will come for us to make declarations concerning our permanent stand.
All right, definitely looks like definitely playing safe, being with the ADC while still holding on to the Labour Party, like Peter Obi rightly said. But let's look at Atiku's situation, because now a lot of Nigerians no longer hold politicians in high regard. Atiku's resignation now, does it signal that Nigerian party politics is no longer about ideology, but purely transactional power swaps? It's all about permanent interest, no permanent friends. Just you can move and switch sides whichever time you like, not minding whether people will say, yeah, this is the ideology you came up with. And why are you changing, just changing parties like you're changing clothes?
Well, I wouldn't say exactly that there is no ideology anymore, but I would say that the Nigerian politicians are playing according to the game. What do I mean by that? Right now, we see that the APC is tending to run a one-party system and trying to crunch upon all the other political parties. So if you play an ideological politics and they see that your ideology is welcomed by the Nigerians, they will do everything possible to keep you out of contest. For the case of Atiku, with due respect, I think this is not the first time he is making such move. He has made it before, second time, and this is the third time. Quite understanding by everyone, you look at the situation of the PDP today, Wike and some others have made PDP almost to extinct. We wouldn't be too sure of what the fate of the PDP will be by the 2027 contest year. Because of that, and also looking at the way that the APC is going, taking over almost every state that they can possibly take over their governors without following the constitution of the party and the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The best way one can do to take or grab power with them is to ensure that there is a very strong coalition. And it is for that sake that this coalition is going on. I want to say it here that there is a coalition does not mean other parties do not exist anymore, except for those people who may have resigned from the party. But politically, 2 or 3 or 4 or more parties can come together and decide how they are going to run an election. And I think that is what is playing out now with the coalition in place. Discussions are still going on, as I understand. And with those discussions going on at the end, there will be a mold by which all the political parties will come together and make representation in the next election. Maybe from what is going to happen, there may be continuation in some other sectors of the political parties to run their candidate, while the national presidential election will come together to choose a candidate from the coalition group. So we are still watching, discussion is still going on, and we are very optimistic that we will take over power from the APC come 2027 with everything put in place at the right time.
All right. Definitely very strong words coming from Engineer Sam there. But why is it that, for instance, if the PDP had this modus operandi of wanting a one-party state as at then, the PDP was very strong. They had the majority of the governors, and everything was working out for PDP. They did not have the mantra or the desire to have a one-party state. But it looks like once APC decides that they don't want to see any political party, the party runs down, and will the politicians continue to run away from their political parties when they see trouble? Is as strong as Atiku is. Atiku was a former vice president of this country. He was one of the founding members of the PDP. Was he not supposed to stand his ground, fight, and make the party strong enough to contest in 2027 instead of running away from the problem and starting a coalition?
Excuse me, what ideology did Donald Trump use in 2024? What ideology? We borrowed our democracy from the United States. Okay. What ideology did Donald Trump run in 2024? Is it the Republican ideology? The answer is no. Because the founders of the Republican Party know that MAGA movement has nothing to do with the ideology that's of the party. And if you read Charles Darwin, understand, on the theory of evolution, he's saying that it is not or the strongest or the most intelligent of organisms that survives, but the one with the ability to do what? To adapt. If you continue on ideology, you will not evolve. You will go extinct. If you continue politics of ideology, you will not move forward, because it should be politics. Humanity is dynamic. It must not be static. Understand me? Politics, human being must be dynamic. You must be changing. You must be following the trends. Tinubu has equipped Wike to destroy PDP. Tinubu has equipped Junior Sabure to destroy Labour Party just to make it easy for him in 2027. So Tinubu, Atiku remaining in PDP is to make it easy for Tinubu. P2B remaining in the Labour Party is to make it easy for Tinubu. So I am happy that Atiku has moved. Understand? That the umbrella of PDP is already torn. So that Nyesom Wike, now it is even a shame on him. Because what he has now is a broken house. What he has now is a broken house. They are jittery. Understand? And before December, you see over 50% of APC people will empty into ADC. Because they are collapsing as we speak. And it will continue. So what Atiku did is the most intelligent thing for him to do. Understand? In 2007, he ran under AC. Everything has a reason. But Nigerians don't want to see it. From 2004 to 2006, Atiku was fighting with Obasanjo. Understand me? Obasanjo did everything to frustrate Atiku. That was why Atiku has to run under AC, Action Congress, in 2007. Understand me? So it wasn't his intention to leave PDP to AC. He was frustrated out. In the same way, it wasn't P2B's intention to leave ABGA to PDP. Obiano frustrated P2B out of ABGA. And again, ABGA is just a state party, Anambra party, not even a Southeast party.
Okay. Because
in ABGA, Victor Ume was succeeded by Victor Oye. The same Anambra. Victor Oye was succeeded by another Anambra man. So that's not a national political party. And if you have a national ambition, you don't have to stay in ABGA. So we should be asking now, what is behind this? What is the motive of this person? Right now, Atiku will be stupid to remain in PDP. Because Wike has been given all the empowerment to destroy PDP.
The thing is that, fine, he has been empowered. What stopped the PDP from building shock absorbers, for instance, to forestall things like this? Because now you are moving to the ADC. What stopped the APC from still using the same tactics to cause problem for the party? Where will he now run to if it happens again to the ADC? Because when
you have security and money, nobody can stop you. Understand me?
So the ADC doesn't have the security and the money?
I mean Nyesom Wike.
Okay.
He has security, he has money.
Okay.
Understand me? Not his own money, but our national purse. Because I have read what business did Wike have before 1999? Understand me? What business did Wike have before 1999? So all this money he's throwing about is people's taxes.
Yeah, taxpayers' money.
So he has been equipped to make it easier for Tinubu in 2027. But what is happening now, including the death of Buhari, understand, APC know that they are going nowhere in 2027.
Let me take this to Engineer Sam. Definitely you're a part of the Labour Party. What stops another Abure or Wike from rising up in the ADC? Because 2027 is still far. And disrupt the ADC. What sign shows that the ADC will be able to withstand any betrayal like what is happening in other parties from coming up?
I think that is still some part of the fears that we have up till now. Let me take it one after the other, still talking about ideology. Now, you see, your ideology is dead when you are not in power. You cannot really exercise the ideologies you have until you grapple power and you are in control. You see, the same reason that my second here said that politics is dynamic. Some of the things that may have formed your ideology in the past may have changed now. But that apart, let's look at the electioneering situation in Nigeria. Do people really vote according to ideology? Even if they vote according to ideology, do that voting represent the mind of the people, looking at the previous elections that we've already had? So having looked at what happened before and the way that the APC is going right now, you will see that it will be better for people to form coalition and use this coalition to fight the forces that is humongously looking at us now. Then going back to that possibility of another Abure and another Wike coming up in the ADC, it is a big fear in our hearts now. And we are looking forward to what can be done to avert that. Because you can even see recently, there was this rumor of some people going to court towards the inauguration that was done and wanting to work against the present situation of the party with the new chairman and the board of trustees. So that is a very big fear in our mind right now. You see, they have the yam according to what they say, and they have the goats. And then when you release the goat, you can eat up the yam the way it is. We wouldn't have been passing through this by now by the court and pronouncement upon Abure that he is not supposed or should not cling onto power up till now. But he flagrantly refused to obey that court order, and he's still holding back the Labour Party. Now, the same thing happens in the PDP. If you look at it now, what is the situation of the national formation of the PDP? Of which, if Atiku remains in that party, what do you think it can be? Even if he's given ticket, towards the end, the court will still come out to say, no, your ticket is not authentic. So for that fear, we are walking ahead of their own anticipation just because we want to make sure the sufferings of Nigerians do not continue the way it is. So even if you have your ideology that is accepted by the people, following up the electioning and sharing system in Nigeria, you'll find out that except you have the people, much people behind you, I mean the weight of people that decides in this country behind you. Otherwise, we all understand that Peter Obi would have been the president of this nation by now with what happened. But none of those votes was counted for him, particularly what happened in Rivers State with Wike turning out the votes of the Labour Party to the APC. Similar situations could happen again. So we need the group that will be able to stand and fight that what happened before should not happen again. And that is where we need this very strong coalition. For now, it may just be between two parties, but I'm sure with time, more political parties is going to join, and we are going to work together to actualize the dreams of Nigeria. So that even if they come, by the time you see the forces that is coming out, such Abure and such Wike will be afraid to come out. And even the judges will be afraid to make some pronouncement. Because these cases, if you look at it, the judiciary is still part of it. You have taken a decision, you have decided, but you are not very straightforward in deciding the judgment that you have given. You leave loopholes in those judgments, and those loopholes are taken as advantages by these people who have the power, the authority in their hand. So The best we have to do is not to sit tight and watch them, but rather to begin to plan alternative to taking over power come 2027.
All right, yeah, I like the idea of forming a coalition, but are we in an era where the rise of political influencers is now the major talking point over party structures, where personalities like Obi, El-Rufai, and Atiku matter more than the platform itself? Because what stops him tomorrow? Okay, I will leave the ADC, go and join my other party, even the governors. What makes, because it continues with the same cycle. At the end of the day, it will only be the ruling party that has a structure, while the other parties will just be finding their bearing and looking for the influencers to come in and win the elections, and the party will just follow whoever wins, and there will be no structure.
All this issue of structure, understand, to me, doesn't really hold water. A structure is the people.
Yeah.
Understand me? A structure is the people. And 2027 election is not going to be 2023 election. Most especially if this coalition stands. Understand me? It is not going to be the same thing. Understand? Assuming that it was Atiku Abubakar that comes first in 2023, whoever is there would not have obtained it. Understand me? Assuming it is Atiku Abubakar that came first. Understand? You know, Buhari, no matter where his soul is, I don't care. Buhari said that we are from a dot nation. Understand me? So that was why P2B was treated the way he was treated. Understand? Assuming that it was Atiku, it would not have they would not have done it. That is number one. And again, as I keep on saying, this coalition is Operation Rescue Nigeria. It is Operation Rescue Nigeria. Those who want the suffering going on in the country to stop. So it is for well-meaning people of this country. And as my friend in Port Harcourt said, the judiciary is one of the biggest problems in this country, because they deliberately give confusing judgments. Understand? So you being a member of the party, you'll be struggling. Who does this judgment favor? The judgment that they give in PDP and in Labour Party will never allow peace in those parties. Because I got the certified true copy that's of the two judgments. I couldn't understand it. Understand me? It did not make any specific pronunciation. It didn't say that Abure continues to be the national chairman. It did not say that Abure should cease to be the national chairman. Now, saying that a party matters is a family issue, how can you? So, judiciary is part of the business, is part of the problem of this country. But it is happening because there's no strong opposition. Once you have a strong opposition, everybody will sit up. Understand me? And if this coalition works with P2B, Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, Rotimi Amaechi, and others, even if Sheikh Tinubu or Remi Tinubu is the INEC chairman, there's nothing they can do. Because the hunger in the country has made mobilization easy for them. Hunger has mobilized over 70% of Nigerians. It's only somebody who has the suffering in his DNA that will want to vote for APC.
Okay, let me go over to Engineer Sam. The governor of Oyo State, Makinde, has said good riddance to Atiku leaving the PDP and saying that they are not going to miss him.
No, excuse me, it's not what he said. I read that statement.
Okay.
It's not what he said. It was being misinterpreted. Okay. I read that statement.
What was the statement? What did he say?
He said those who are not comfortable in the party should leave. I have read a report that said Atiku's exit is inconsequential. He never said that.
With what is body language? He said they are not going to miss him. That those who are holding the party down should leave.
He said those who are not comfortable with the party should leave, or those who are holding the party down should leave.
But so it was Atiku holding the party down.
But Makinde,
he didn't say that about Wike.
Makinde is Tinubu's agent.
Okay, what does that say?
Makinde is Tinubu. Sure now, Makinde and Nyesom Wike are doing the same thing. In 2023, Wike and what's his name? Sheyi Makinde and Tinubu had a deal. Understand me? Support me in the presidency, I support you in the governorship. So after the presidency, the APC governor in Oyo was told to come down. Understand me? So that deal continues.
In 2027.
That's why he's telling you that he wants to contest for presidency. That's 2-3 days to the election. He said that he has stepped down for Tinubu. So he is one of the saboteurs in PDP. Makinde is one of the saboteurs in PDP.
Anyway, Engineer Sam, even the Adamawa PDP state chapter has said that they are shocked at his exit, but they will have to move on. Would it look there's a signal that others are going to be following him? Is this a statement that a lot of people in the PDP who are disillusioned, coming from the statement of Atiku, those who said that Atiku said irreconcilable differences made it difficult for him to stay in the PDP? All others who feel the same way, are we going to be seeing them moving in droves to the ADC very soon? Is this a new tsunami that is coming? Because you cannot take it away that Atiku is a caterpillar as far as the political circle is concerned.
Yeah, I want to say, if you were to get a comment from somebody like Wike, what kind of comment do you think he will make about Atiku? It's the same kind of comment you also get from Makinde and every other ones that are working both for the APC from the PDP. So it's not shocking, but like we have said, Atiku made the best of decisions, because if he remains in the PDP, look at it this way, he could remain in the PDP and at the end, they will work against him from getting the ticket. That is one. It is clear to everybody that the PDP does not stand a chance of winning an election as it comes to presidential election right now. And so for anybody who is sure of what he wants to do and has looked at the politics of Nigeria, the way it is going, I think he made the best of decisions. Even if he's not going to win an election, he made the best of decisions, because you don't have to play a fool of yourself, staying somewhere that you know that you are not going to make much impact on your dreams, which is what is happening in PDP now. Now, we are also aware of other governors who have moved and many other governors who are still going to move for fear of the expectations of the anti-graft agents towards their activities. So with that, I think everybody has the right to speak their mind, which is what Makinde has done. But for Atiku, I want to say yes, it was a right decision that he has made. We are still going to see more of this kind of movement, like you said. Like I also said earlier, it's not going to be just the Labour Party and the PDP. I'm sure many other political parties is going to join with this coalition. It's going to be a strong coalition. Except it is a strong coalition, it will be very difficult to defeat somebody like Bola Tinubu, whom we know is antecedent when it comes to politics. The way he plays his politics, both with money and influence. Nobody knew or believed that he was actually going to take the APC ticket when they were in their primaries. But you see the way things turned out, eventually everybody had to step down for him, and he was able to get that ticket. And I also want to say that the PDP, as long as Wike is still in the PDP, there is nobody that will be allowed the chance to take a winning ticket in the PDP. You might be shocked that towards that time, Wike can decide to even go in for the presidential ticket in the PDP, which is going to affect Atiku drastically. Not just Atiku, but it's going to affect Nigeria drastically, because it is a game plan for them to ensure that no viable person comes out. We know that Atiku has what it takes to defeat anybody if re-election is being conducted. He has what it takes to stand in this nation, this country. Well, we may not be dwelling so much on his past, which is what some people are saying and using it against him. But at a time in someone's life, you might decide to change and do what is better based on the expectations that you are seeing around you. And we are also believing that with that, I will not stand here and say that, well, the ADC coalition is the best in the country. We still have a lot of lapses with a lot of question marks around some of the people who are the big whips in the ADC. But at least we believe that something must be done to avert the sufferings of this nation, the people of Nigeria. And that is the reason for this coalition. So every other person can say what they like, and Atiku still remains who he is. We know he's influential when it comes to politics between the North. He has enormous strength in the northern politics, and his movement in conjunction with somebody like Peter Obi is actually going to trend Nigeria for a better and tomorrow comes to election and leadership.
All right, the way you're sounding, are we seeing a combined ticket between Wike and, beg your pardon, between Atiku and Peter Obi? Because I can see the soft way you've been landing it, but I don't know. Are you trying to tell us something?
I still have a very strong fear, as I'll have to say it here as well, between the presidential candidates, who is going to emerge as the presidential candidate of the ADC. I have a very strong fears, and that is where I wouldn't want to comment so strongly for now. But I think if someone like Peter Obi takes the ticket, it's going to make things easy. And I'm also, in my own opinion, believing that Atiku will have an understanding with Obi. If it is Obi, I think it should be reasonable enough for Atiku to say, okay, I can work with him even if I'm not the presidential candidate. But if it has to go to the North, I think Atiku has what it takes. But if it must remain in the South, I am believing strongly that Atiku should have an understanding with Peter Obi to work as a kingmaker, an elder, a statesman, and then wait for when it will be back to Atiku. And probably that is why we have this one-term statement. Yeah.
Okay. All right, one-term statement. Okay, let me go back to Senate President Godswill Akpabio now. He has filed an appeal against a federal high court ruling that ordered the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan following her suspension. Akpabio's legal team argues that the court lacked jurisdiction, citing that the matter concerns Internal National Assembly affairs and is protected under the Constitution. The appeal challenges the court's judgment, which directed Akpotu Uduaghan's recall and forced the judge for allegedly breaching Akpabio's right to a fair hearing. Akpabio's team claims that the judge raised issues not argued by either party and made recommendations without giving both sides an opportunity to address the matter. Akpabio is seeking to overturn the judgment, strike out duplicated reliefs, and dismiss Akpotu Uduaghan's suit for lack of jurisdiction. He also wants the court to reject the trial's court's advisory opinions regarding the Senate rules and Akpotu Uduaghan's recall. Dr. Anosike, is Akpabio using legislative privilege as a shield to avoid judicial accountability?
Well, I want to start with with the previous
Judgment.
Or discussion.
Okay, the previous discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
So those who are talking about Atiku's past, what are their own pasts? Understand me? Angels don't stand for election. Understand me? Angels, you cannot see an angel on a ballot box. So those who are talking about Atiku's past, what is their own past? Are they angels? So we are talking about how to rescue this country, how to stop or the hunger, the death, or the frustration in this country. So whoever is concerned about an angel should go and wake Nelson Mandela up. Let him come and stand for election in the country. And as we speak, Atiku is current with the death of Muhammadu Buhari. Atiku is now the most influential politician in the north. Atiku is now the most influential politician in the north as a whole. So a joint ticket of P2B and Atiku would remove APC out of the way. Whether it is a south and north or not and south. Once P2B and Atiku comes together and the others agree to support them, understand? Tinubu is out. Understand? And even if they say we will not support them, Atiku will not lose anything. P2B will not lose anything. The suffering continues in the country. Because Atiku is made, P2B is made. Understand me? So they are there to help the suffering masses. Then begin to talk that Atiku has defected from 3 or 4 political parties or has contested 100 times. You are doing yourself. Understand me? Because these guys are not hungry. For me, they are there to help. ADC is Operation Rescue Nigeria from Sinking.
Well, Dr. Anosike, you know that anybody that runs for presidential election, even buying the presidential ticket alone shows you are not hungry. Definitely. I don't know.
So they are there for the suffering masses.
Okay, in your words?
They are there for the suffering masses. We cannot continue with this hunger and suffering and insecurity that is going on in this country.
All right.
So on what Akpabio said, Akpoti Uduaghan is a lawyer. Akpabio is a lawyer. Understand me? They know what the book says. But a lawyer cannot go and present himself in the court of law. Just like a doctor is not allowed to treat himself. So that's why they have people representing them. I am aware that Senate rules has its own has a way of managing its own affairs. Understand? But whether it is superior to the Constitution is what I cannot say. Understand me? Whether the Senate rules is superior to the Constitution is what I'm not a lawyer. But I know that every law, every rule in the country takes its power from the Constitution.
Yes.
And so Senate has its own rule, its own way of managing itself. But whether if it's immune from the Constitution is what I'm not sure of.
Definitely, it shouldn't be immune to the Constitution. Definitely, the Constitution has to hold sway over every situation. But let me take this to Engineer Sam. Is this case more about protecting institutional power or silencing dissenting voices like Akpotu Dragons?
Well, the fear in every Nigerian now is whether do we have a Senate or National Assembly that is independent. I think that is the fear in every Nigerian now. And like Doctor has rightly said, the Senate has their own rule. And if their rule could not resolve the issues that they have in the House, I think it is right for any individual who is seeking for his or her right to run to the court. And the court should have known it right, whether they should handle that issue or not. But if the court has taken a decision and you are also going to the court for an appeal, is that not contradictory in understanding? The issue again is more about external, not purely an internal assembly matter. So what do I mean by that? There are some other issue that is attached to it that has to do with what was not done right there in the Senate. So the Senate rule says, yes, whatever that happens in the Senate should be handled in the Senate. And so if there are other issues that were done outside the Senate and the person concerned deems it right to take that issue to the court for better interpretation, which has cumulated to her being suspended, I think the court is also there, and the Constitution of the Nigeria should override the Senate, because it is actually the Senate who signs some of these things into law, which is being used. So if we leave it at that the Senate takes absolute care of what happens in the Senate without anybody having the right to run to court, I think we are making the Senate president overpowerful, too powerful, even more powerful than the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it is the Constitution of Nigeria that will be able to solve those issues, comparing it to what the Constitution says. We are not lawyers to actually argue on what should be and what should not be. Okay. But common sense tells me that, yeah, it is the courts that will be able to be the final arbiter in situations between two parties. So that's on that.
All right. Thank you very much, Engineer Sam, for being a part of the show. It's been a pleasure having your insights on the issues.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good one. Dr. Anaski, it's also a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, the issues today has shone a light on the challenges facing Nigeria, Atiku's PDP exit, Akpabio's legal fight, and the U.S. visa policy change all have significant implications for our nation's future. As we navigate these complexities, one thing is clear: the decisions we make today will shape tomorrow's Nigeria. We will continue to hold those in power accountable and provide you with the insights you need to stay informed. See you next time. I am Jerry Appley, and this has been the Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Have a good one.